Hey everyone, Orion here, and today I want to talk to you about the 4 things you can do to make your home buying process easy. Now you see, when a lot of people go to buy a house, they say, hey, let's buy a house. They immediately hop online and they see what's out there. They'll go to the Trulia, they'll go to Zillow, they'll go to Redfin. They'll see all these nice homes and they'll think, wow, we found it. Look at this. We can get this, right? Maybe not. They may even decide, let's go see what's out there. Let's get in the car, let's drive around, let's go to these subdivisions, and let's see what's out there. We'll take a weekend. We don't have anything else going on. It's nice out. Let's go see what's out there. And then they let the dreams get the best of them because they're going to go to these subdivisions. And I've been an agent in these big subdivisions before, so I've seen kind of how it works. Everything's perfect. You're going to have perfect roads, perfect sidewalks, perfect street lights. You're going to have perfect houses, perfectly manicured. You're going to have all this perfect setting. And that's what they set you up for. They're going to give you free water, coffee, might even give you a candy bar or some chocolate, something like that. And if you're like me, I can't pass up a free candy bar. I mean, come on. What am I going to do? Say no? No. So I grab as many as I can, get the heck out of there. I'm going to teach you what you can do to kind of get through this process and how you can save your time, because you don't want to waste a bunch of your time. You don't want to give out your information to a bunch of real estate agents. Okay, so today we're going to talk about the difference between looking at the houses you want versus looking at the houses you can actually afford. Obviously, you're not going to go to Fred Meyer, have 20 bucks in your bank account, but stick $300 worth of groceries in your cart. Doesn't make sense. It's a waste of time. You're not going to do it. So I'm going to give you 4 tips today that will help you streamline the home buying process. So let's get into it and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So you got to make a list of your wants, and you need to know how to spell. Not let your brain get ahead of you there or whatever. Wants versus haves. Wants. What do I want? I would love to have a home on 20 acres located in a, rural area, not too rural, but a rural area, nice big house. So I can just chill out there and hang out and have fun, hit golf balls if I want to in my yard. Can I afford that right now? No. Now, if I get tons of subscribers on here, so you should subscribe, you should like the video, you should comment, you should share it with everyone, and become some YouTube millionaire, then guess what? Then that want comes into something I can afford. But right now, I can't afford it. So I live in what I must have. I know the type of house I must have. That's where I live. So what do you want? Well, I may want 4 bedrooms. I may want 3 bathrooms. I may want a bonus room, you say. I may want that 3-car garage. You may want the big backyard with the deck and everything for barbecues. That's fine, but if you can't afford it, it doesn't matter. So what you need, what you must have, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. I need a double-car garage. I need a backyard that's big but not huge, and it needs to be fenced in for the dog. We've got kids, we've got a dog. We want to have an area for them to play. That's why we need the 3-bedroom for the 2 kids. We need the garage because we have the extra storage that we need. Plus we have 2 cars. We need it to be in this area because of schools, and we want to be in a safe area. So you need to sit down with your husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever the situation is, and you need to say, honey, dear, sweetheart, this is what we must have. This is what we want. And you both need to know where you guys stand on that, because your real estate agent needs to know where you stand on that. If a real estate agent doesn't ask you what your house must have, well, they're not a very good agent. You need to go find another one. Most will, though. But when they ask you that question, you need to know. You need to have that idea. Not, oh, well, we haven't really thought about it. We kind of like X, Y, Z. No. Go to them prepared. You're going to save time. You're going to save money. You're going to save headache, everything. Go to them and say, this is what we must have. We would like to have this, but tell them your must-haves first, and then at the end of the list, give all of your what we want. So let's go into the next thing, which is the other big piece of the fun puzzle. Find an agent. You need a real estate agent to buy a house. You need to ask them questions. They're going to ask you a lot of questions. You need to ask them questions. This is how I want you to think when you go and buy your house. I am giving this, and this is what I used to tell my clients. You are giving me a briefcase full of $4, $5, $6, $7, $800,000 and saying, take care of it for me. I want a house. Take care of this money for me and get me a house, okay? Get me the best house you can. That's how you need to look at this. You need to look at this real estate agent is helping me with probably, I'm going to say almost everyone, 99.9% of you, the biggest purchase of your life. It's very important that you understand that. This is going to be the biggest purchase of your life. Even though you don't actually have that money because you're getting a loan, you need to think of it like it's a briefcase full of cash that you're giving to this person and saying, go buy something for me with it, okay? You need to make sure they know what the heck they're doing. Because if you check one box wrong on a real estate form or don't check a box on a real estate form, that could mean the difference between you backing out of it, being able to back out of a deal and not being able to back out of a deal. That can be the difference between you losing thousands of dollars to being able to back out and having that protection. So ask these people, how long, Mr. or Mrs. Real Estate Agent, have you been in the business? Now, when I was new in the business, I was younger. So people would look at me and they'd be like, this is some kid, we're not going to work with him. But I always let them know, I've been in the business 6 months. I've done a deal or whatever it was at the time. But I have a team of real estate agents behind me that I work with. I have a transaction coordinator. All she does is paperwork. All she deals with contracts. If I ever have a question, I can go to her and I can ask. I have a guy that's been in the business, I think at that point it was like 10 years. He's done, 300 deals or whatever it was. I can go to him and I can ask him about how to negotiate something. He will even come in and help me negotiate. So you need to know, if someone says, I've only been in the business 6 months, okay, that could be fine, but we need to know the background. Who do you, and don't ask them, oh, so are you on a team? Or let them tell you. If they're not willing to give you that information, you shouldn't have to dig it out of them. Because if you ask someone, they may say, oh yeah, I'm on a team. We have 10 agents. No, you have 10 agents in your office. They're not all on your team. They're all doing their own deals, making their own money. So make sure you ask them, how long have you been in the business? Ask them, what deals have you done? How many past sales do you have in the 5 years you've been in business? Oh, I've been in the business, 5 years now, and I have 3 sales. Probably don't want to work with you if you only have 3 sales in 5 years. What the heck are you doing? Because you're not making money. You're not making enough money to survive unless you're doing some extravagant $10, $20 million deals or something pretty high to where you can do that. And if you're doing those large deals, I don't want you on my small deal because you're going to spend all your energy on the big deal. I need you for me, not for these other big deals. So you need to find out their past sales. And when they tell you, I've done 20 deals, can you give me some of those addresses? I need to be able to look up and see what kind of deals you've done. Because let's say they sold a bunch of houses, but every time they sell a house, it sells for way less. Even though you're not using them to sell your home, you're using them to buy a home, it's kind of lets you know that they don't really understand the market. They're overpricing homes, and they're just going out there and getting a bunch of listings, listing it for whatever the seller, says it should be listed at. So you need to see that, and you see, okay, you were a buyer, this kind of thing. How'd this transaction go? Ask questions. Do not be afraid to ask your agents questions about their expertise, because again, they're holding your briefcase full of money. Now, the other thing you want to ask is, what areas do you sell in? I sell in New Jersey. Okay, well, I need a house in New York. Do you know anything about New York? Or I'm in city A. Do you know anything about city B where I want to live, or neighborhood? Because it can vary a lot, neighborhood to neighborhood. There are neighborhoods, there's pockets of neighborhoods. It could be very, very competitive. And if the agent doesn't know how to work in that neighborhood, sorry. Now, that doesn't mean that they have to exclusively only work in that area, but they need to know what's going on in that area. They need to know how to negotiate a deal for you. They need to be able to find you the right house. Another thing that's important is you need to get along with them. These are people you're going to be talking to, especially in the beginning of a transaction, a lot. You need to be able to get along with them. You need to be able to feel you can go to them and say, I don't understand this. I don't think this is the best thing we should be doing right now in this deal. Even though I'm not a real estate expert, Explain to me more why we're doing X, Y, or Z. Why does the contract say this? I would have people ask me 5 times to explain something in a contract. And you know what I did? Explained it to them 5 times. My point is, it may take you 2 hours to understand a document really, or it could take me 5 minutes to really understand and tell you everything that's going on. So don't be afraid to ask them the same question 2, 3, 4, 10, 20 times. It's your money, it's your briefcase full of cash. You need to understand what's going on with it. Other thing you need to ask them is, what type of clients do you work with? Are you primarily listing houses or selling them, working with sellers? That's all some agents do. They don't want to work with buyers. They don't want to drive them around in their car. They think it's a waste of time. Some people only work with buyers, which if you're buying a house, that could be a good thing. If you've only worked with buyers, you don't really always know a seller's mindset. So sometimes that can hurt you in negotiating with a buyer. Not always. Some buyer's agents are really good at it, but you can sometimes say, gosh, this guy's never worked with a seller. He doesn't know what the seller's going to be thinking when I respond this way. So just kind of ask him about that. Another thing is, a lot of people, I worked with investors too. Some people just work with investors. They just want to do the big land deals, or they want to help them buy a house, fix it up, and sell it or rent it out. Investors aren't emotionally involved in the transaction like you are. This is your home you're moving into. You're going to create memories there. You're going to raise your children. You're maybe going to have children in that home. All those kinds of things. Or maybe it's your last house you're ever going to buy. Maybe this is your retirement home, your dream home. You finally got it. You're emotionally attached to that. An investor is not. An investor cares about dollars and cents. Ask them, what kind of clients do they work for? Now, when you go to them and say, well, let's use a simple number. I can afford $100,000. I've been pre-approved, and we'll talk about that in a second. I've been pre-approved, Mr. or Mrs. Agent, for $100,000. Okay, great. A lot of agents will start sending you homes automatically, and you'll see $103,000, $105,000, $110,000. You cannot afford a $110,000 house. You were pre-approved for $100,000. And what they will say, oh, well, we can negotiate the price down. That's why I sent you that one. I know it's not, you're only pre-approved for $100,000. I think we could get them down to $110,000. Or, well, can you put more money down? Do you have more money to put down on that house? No. I am qualified for $100,000. Because what will happen is, and I've even seen this, agents will say, it's $101,000. I know you can only do, but what's $1,000? I'm sure we can get them to come down on the price. You'll look at that house, you'll love that house, you'll fall in love with that house, you'll want that house, you'll want to make an offer. And then you say, oh, how can we come up with another $1,000? What can we do? We do have it in savings. We could use it. We kind of want to save it for a rainy day, but we'll take it and we'll just put it in the house. We really love it. That's not doing you any good, because now what if you move into the house, even though everything went well in the home inspection, something goes wrong. Something happens to your car. A medical thing comes up unexpected. You get in a car accident. You can't work. There's so many things that could come up. Don't over leverage yourself. Don't let that other agent do that to you. Say, no, $100,000, that's what I'm approved for. You are paying them to find you a house. Now, technically you're not, but you're giving them the business, which is giving them the money. The seller is paying for the buyer's agent. You don't have to pay for the buyer's agent's commissions. You are giving them business, which is in turn making them money, which is the same thing as giving them money. Don't let them bully you around. Don't let them not do their job. Hold them accountable. So the other thing that we're going to talk about here is, so I'll just write loan. L-O-A-N. I didn't mess that one up on the spelling. All right. This one's simple. I'm not going to walk into Fred Meyer and go shopping if I don't have any money. I'm not going to push my cart around and fill it up with stuff and then go, oh, I don't have any money, so see you later. If you don't know what you can afford, don't go look at $300,000 houses when you can only afford $250,000, because then you're going to look at those $250,000 houses when you get pre-approved and you're going to be disappointed. Everything's going to suck. Well, yeah, it's not the same house. It's not what you can afford. So don't do that to yourself. First thing you should do, once and halves. The second thing you should do, start talking to a lender. Find out what it's going to take to get pre-approved and get pre-approved. They're going to want a lot of stuff. They're going to a lot of financial stuff. Get your bank statements for the past 2 months ready. Get your pay stubs for the last 2 months ready. Get your tax returns for the last 2 years ready. Start getting all this stuff ready. That way you can get pre-approved for your loan. Once you know how much money you have, then you can go shopping. You don't go shopping without the money. Don't go shopping for a house without the money. Now, we have our money. So what do I think we should do? We'll say online. Go online. Go on to Trulia. Go on to Redfin. Go on to Zillow. They're not 100% accurate. Redfin's probably the best, honestly, that I've found so far. Zillow, it's okay. Trulia, it's okay. Go online. Go to the area you want to live in. Type in your amount that you're pre-approved for. Let's say it's $250,000. See what you can get. See what's going on. I know right now I can get 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, 1,000 square feet. Ugh. We really need 1,500. So now what happens? Well, you have to say, what is it going to take to get 1,500 square feet? Are we going to have to move in a little different area? We're going to have to get a smaller yard. Maybe we only can get 1 car garage. Your wants and haves may have to change a little bit, or your must-haves, they may change a little bit as you get into the process. Don't be scared of that happening. Home ownership is a great thing. It's better than throwing money down the toilet. And if I rented this place, guess what? I couldn't have just refied and got a smoking deal and saved a couple $100 a month. So go online, get a perspective, find out what you can afford after once you've gotten the pre-approval. You'll find out what you can afford, and go start looking. Go start looking online. Drive by some houses even, and then start getting that agent going. So I appreciate you guys stopping by. I'm going to continue to do these videos a couple a week at least. Let me know if there's anything you want to see. Leave me a comment. If you would like and subscribe, I would really, really appreciate it. It helps my channel grow. Helps me to share this with more people. The bigger my channel gets. That's just how the YouTube algorithm works. So again, my name is Ryan. This is Real Estate by Ryan, and we will see you in the next episode. Take care, everyone.